Good evening. Just a wrap up of the City Council meeting for Grand Rapids for September 8, 2014. Once again, our work session consisted primarily of budget preparation and discussion around the preliminary budget as we are getting ready to set that. As you all are aware, we have to have a preliminary budget in place by September 30th. So we're continuing to go through that budget, looking at having a final resolution to a preliminary budget at our next council meeting. At the regular meeting this afternoon, we had a proclamation that I read at the start of it for Hunger Action Month proclamation, as September is Hunger Action Month in the city of Grand Rapids and across the state. One of the interesting things about Second Harvest Food Bank in Grand Rapids is that there are 950 families in the area that are impacted and get food from Second Harvest. And if that sounds like a large number, they distributed in 2013 4.5 million pounds of food out into the community. So they do have a huge impact on the community and the well-being of a lot of families that are in need out there. Along those lines, there is a Hunger Action Day tomorrow at 1 o'clock at Second Harvest. So I'm wondering if folks have an opportunity, they may want to go out and take a look at that, go through there. I know from the standpoint of council and some area legislative folks are invited to go out there and take participation in an event around hunger. Grand Rapids Second Harvest is one of 6 feeding American food banks in Minnesota, so there are 6 of these type facilities around, and I'm not sure where we stand. So you take a look at 4.5 million pounds out of the Grand Rapids one. I got to assume that there are some in some larger metropolitan areas that are well above that. So we're talking millions and millions of pounds of food distributed to families in need. Councilmember Zabinski talked about a mining forum that's coming up. Councilmember Sanderson continued and had some discussion around housing and housing development. Along those lines, we did have a public hearing tonight that focused on a new project that would be going in on 7th Avenue and 21st Street around affordable housing, a 2-part one for, I'm trying to think of the name of it, River Hills complex. It would be phased in under a TIF plan in 2014 and 15, and then second phase in 2016 and 17, looking for about $300,000 each phase for TIF funding, paid back over a 13.5-year period, taking land that was owned by the city that had no value from a tax standpoint under the city policies, and at the end will have about an $80,000 impact from a tax standpoint out there. The beauty of this is it continues to bring quality apartments and houses into play in the city of Grand Rapids, that there is a desperate need for housing in this area. We've had a housing plan in place, and as I've talked about before, Council Member Sanderson has talked about before, there's a need for hundreds of homes yet and hundreds of apartment type units for people to live in the Grand Rapids area under the affordable side. So the beauty of this is 20% of the project, or 70 units when they get done. 14 of those units will be low income based on 50% of the average market there for income. So with that, we're looking forward to 2 weeks when we will give you the final numbers from a budget levy standpoint. I would like to throw in a couple of things that I would like to mention. An Arts and Culture Commission community meeting September 16th at Blandin Foundation at 6 o'clock. So if you're interested in arts and culture and have some input on what we can do as a community that would continue to promote arts and culture that will actually help bring different people in to enjoy this community, that's going to be at 6 o'clock. I believe it's at Blandin Foundation building, September 16th. If you get a chance, take that in. I would also like to mention Friday night, first homecoming game for the Grand Rapids football team and the marching band that will be doing their performance. As you know, the football team has struggled over the last couple of years, and I would encourage folks to get out, enjoy the football team, support them, and to support the band in their activities of the marching band. These kids put a lot of hours in, whether it's at football or at band practice. They put a lot of hours in, and it's well worth your dollar to go out and support them and give them some words of encouragement. With that, I guess we will see everyone in 2 weeks. Take care and have a pleasant evening.